Oh wait, the camera's there. I'm DJ Huzar here with 808's Creative States. We're here with Jay Dunni
Yes, sir.
doing a little interview. So Jay Dunni, tell us a little bit about yourself.
100%. So I'm a rapper from Ottawa. I'm born and raised here. I did spend like a little bit of time in Toronto, but yeah, man, I just love rap. Like I said, I'm trying to put on for the city and all that. I think that the city very much influenced my music and everything and my upbringing, and I want to bring that to my music and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, so what was growing up in the city like for you?
Growing up in the city was interesting because we bounced around a lot when I was a kid. We actually lived in like 4 different neighborhoods. So I want to say like, oh, I never felt settled and like I didn't like my time. No, like I loved every neighborhood, and to be honest, Ottawa is a super connected city. So for me, it was really nice to kind of like see all the different neighborhoods I was in. And it was always very like multicultural. So I got to see, I feel like, a lot of different cultures as a kid, and just make a lot of like cool friends that I still have to this day. You know what I mean? So growing up in Ottawa was a great experience for me.
And growing up, what did you like to do? What did you do for fun with your friends?
Yeah, sports.
Sports.
Yeah. I mean, like I started out with soccer and then played like football, played basketball, but volleyball was where I landed because my dad's a coach, and he was always like, "Nah, you're short. Like, don't play this sport. Like, you're not made for this sport." But I ended up doing it, and it's funny because like I liked other sports a little bit better, but I was playing it since I was 5. So like when I got into it, I was so much better than everyone. I was like, "This is what I want to do. This is what I want to do." So definitely sports. Yeah.
Cool. What were some of the first artists you listened to growing up, like as a kid?
Yeah. Mostly like radio shit, not gonna lie, mostly radio shit. I definitely I heard a lot of like Wayne on the radio. I had big 50 Cent phase, Eminem phase, and yeah, just a lot of like the big mainstream artists at those times. And I just loved I loved rappers that were like big and pronounced. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? They made their presence
Personas.
felt. So I think that's why like I kind of like tend to bring that energy too in my shit. Yeah.
How did you go from liking and enjoying music to creating your own music?
Yeah. I mean, I kind of stumbled into it, to be honest. I was late to music. I only started when I was turning 20. And like I said, I was into sports. I was playing varsity volleyball at the time. Fucked my back up, and basically was like bedridden. And I was just like, yo, like, what can I do with all this free time? You know what I mean? And I was always into writing. I used to write a lot as a kid, and that kind of turned into like poetry a little bit later. And I would recite my poems to my friends, and it would kind of a little bit of bounce to it when I was saying it.
Yeah.
And so everyone was like, why don't you just start rapping? And I was like, okay, bet. You know what I mean? So I remember actually the very first time I ever rapped, I literally pulled out my phone. I was in bed because my back was broken. And I like remember filming me doing Gold Digger by Kanye West, because this is the only song I knew front to back, like a rap song. And then I said it to my friends, and my friends are like, yo, you should keep rapping for sure,
going,
And then like just did like a couple tracks early on and got a lot of love. So I just kept going with it.
Yeah, a lot of positive feedback on the way that.
100%. Yeah, exactly.
What do you think makes your music unique, or what do you like to put into your music?
Yeah, I think every great artist, especially the ones that I look up to, put themselves in their music. And I don't think like every great artist needs to do that. But for me, that's the ones that I was attracted to, and the ones that I really wanted to like emulate. You know what I mean? Like early on, like you kind of create your style by emulating other artists.
Yeah.
All of them that I wanted to emulate were all very authentic. And so what I think sets me apart is the authenticity that I bring to my music. Because I think if you're an authentic person, it's going to polarize because, not everybody's going to like you.
Yeah.
Right? But to me, that's kind of the point. Good art is going to like split people down the middle. It's like you're going to get the people that like you and the people that don't fuck with you at all.
Yeah.
But I'd rather have that than like pander to as many people as I can and just try and get like love from everybody.
Yeah.
I want to like spark conversation. I want to be divisive. I want to do all these things. So hopefully, and I hope that's what people, take away from my music and make what makes me authentic.
Yeah. And then you can find your people through that by kind of sending that signal.
Exactly. Yeah. And like the people that respond to your music respond to you because it's you in the music. So I think that's way more powerful.
Oh, 100%. And it's way better than building an audience for something that you don't want to do, or
Yeah,
someone that you
yeah,
aren't.
yeah. Like fake love. Who wants fake
Yeah,
love? You know, I'm here for the real shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
We've worked together in the past. I've DJ'd for you at the
yeah,
Saw Center show, the Montreal
yeah.
show. I've noticed you have a lot of energy on the stage. So how do you get that energy? Where does it come from? How do you perform at that level when you're
Yeah,
in front of an audience?
it definitely stems from the sports side of me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just a competitive motherfucker. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie, and I love going like. My mentality when I come on stage is I want to show everybody what I can do to like the full potential, because, you know, I think that a show is very similar to like you know, a sports event for me. Like that's how I see it, and I always wanted the clutch moments, like.
Yeah.
When the game's on the line, it's like some people are shaking and some people are more locked in. Like I wanted to be more locked in, and I wanted to bring that mentality to the stage, because I think a lot of artists kind of get shaky when they're going up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. A little nervous.
Yeah, I get nervous too, but like it's more of an energetic nervous for me. It's like
excitement.
Exactly. It's like, okay, what can I bring today that no one else is gonna bring?
Yeah.
And I bring that energy into my performances every time.
Cool. Yeah. I like the confidence. What's something you wish more people understood about your music? What's some things they might miss on the first listen?
Yeah. I think that people like just getting into my music, they might hear kind of like the flows and the beats and miss a little bit of the lyricism, but I do really put time into like my penmanship. I got books and books and books in the studio of just shit I've written. Like and I think that if you actually listen to what I'm saying, I am saying shit. Maybe not on every track, but on most of my shit. And I think that if you dig deeper, you'll see that there is a little bit more to that meets the eye on my music. And I want to keep that going. Like, I feel like as artists grow, there's kind of like the idea that you have to like pander to, you know, the radio or whatever. I think there is that pressure and that exists, and it has its place. It's like music is a business, called like the music business, right? But I also want it to be about a little bit more than just making dough. You know, I want there to be some substance to my shit. So,
what's it like being an artist in Ottawa?
Oh, in Ottawa, you know what? The scene is growing. I'm gonna be real. The scene is growing. Being an artist in Ottawa is kind of a difficult venture, because either you are 100% an entrepreneur, or you're trying to go straight community based. But because Ottawa is such a small community of artists compared to, like, you know, you get your Toronto, your Montreal, your New York, your LA. Out here, it's a lot more about like how you can maintain excitement, because I feel like it dies super quick in a city like Ottawa, because the art scene isn't already like super prominent.
Yeah.
So when you're trying to push yourself, you need to be like even more on their necks, like come to my event.
Yeah, this is happening tonight.
Self-promote like an animal. And they say that like you have to do that anywhere. I agree. But I think especially in Ottawa, just because it can be dead.
Yeah.
It's not dead.
Yeah.
Every camera is not dead, but it can be, unless you push it. So yeah, it's tough.
What's one thing you struggle with when it comes to making music?
That's a good question. For me, it comes in waves. I mean, I want to say that I'm the guy that's in the studio every single day, but I think there's so much that comes with being an artist. For me, the struggle comes from balancing like the social media, the branding, the promotion,
having to do every job.
100%. Like, I would love to just dig into the studio and be in there every single day working with people. But honestly, like, I work a lot off like YouTube beats, and I do have some producers I work with, but I think that the main struggle for me comes from like maintaining motivation on my own. I'm a people person. I love being around people, and I don't get to work with a lot of producers like often. So the struggle for me is to maintain that motivation to just get back and keep grinding and keep getting better, just for the sake of it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because it kind of has to all be you. Like, you have to do everything, right?
Yeah.
You have to motivate yourself to do everything.
Yeah, like I love crate digging and like listening and searching for samples. If you got 2 or 3 boys in the room, then you guys can like talk and stuff. But if you're literally like listening to 100 YouTube beats a day, and maybe 2 of them are going to click with you and 2 of them are going to turn into good songs, that can get real slow, real fast.
Yeah, not everyone wants to hang around for that.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just like, it's motivation is this thing where you think that it's gonna just kind of like come, like inspiration just comes and goes, but it really does come with just working.
Yeah.
And the more you work, the more inspired you are because you see it like day to day. But I just struggle to like maintain that as a solo dolo, like isolated by myself. So,
Exactly.
yeah, that's where it sucks for me. Yeah.
What's the wildest thing you've experienced as a result of being an artist?
You know what? Like,
Yeah.
I'm not that deep into my career yet, but honestly, working with Kuna and Pei, like like these guys are from Australia, like so I got to work with these Australian artists, as you know, and just like seeing the worldwide effect of music and the like interconnectedness of it, because these guys are talking to me about their bars. And I would have never heard anything of them if it wasn't for you guys, and we connected because of that. And I still talk to those guys to this day. And to me, that's wild. Like, obviously, I've partied and I've done other shit. Yeah. But for me, it's always about the people. So I'm going to say, meeting some two dope Australian dudes that can rap their asses off and, maintain that connection to this day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was really cool meeting them. Like, I talked to them as well, and they were saying that there isn't a huge hip-hop scene in Melbourne where they're from.
Yeah.
But, like, coming here, like, just being on that tour was amazing because there's so many people who are passionate about all this underground hip-hop and just being able to talk to them about West Side Gun or, like, all their influences and all their favorite artists. It's cool how, like, the internet and just how globally connected the world is and how it can bring people together. So even if where they're from, like, they don't necessarily have as much of a community around it, like, once you're on a tour together, you can click and
they were telling me that most of their fan base is in North America.
Yeah.
And to me, like, that's crazy. I'm like, you guys are from Australia, but that just goes to show you how deep it goes nowadays. So I think that's super sick.
It's so cool. So cool. Yeah, we were both on the tandem tour, as we discussed. We performed at the Saw Center in Ottawa. We performed at the Blue Dog in Montreal. What were some highlights for you of performing in your home city and performing in Montreal? Yeah,
in the home city, it's just like showing people that I'm not just a guy who's rapping on Instagram now. Like having my friends come out. Having my friends come out to the show and being like, yo, I'm actually doing this for real. I think that it kind of like cemented myself in this. I was already dedicated for sure, but it definitely boosted the motivation, and it gave me a sense of reality with the artistry, as opposed to just being like this pipe dream that I go to bed and think about.
You just talk to your camera alone in your house, but like here, there's like people that you can see and interact with. Yeah, and like it's like I posted the videos after, and everyone's like, "Oh, like when'd you take off your shirt? All this." My family members making fun of me and shit. And I was like, "You weren't there. Like you don't get it. You don't get it." It was a good move.
It was a good move. Yeah, like you don't get it. Like, and it's not something I planned. Like it just I was hot. I danced around on stage and shit. But I think like there was just like one specific moment. Like I did the last track, and it's kind of like a vocally intense song or whatever you could call it. Like it's kind of like you gotta maintain and lock in. And I just remember like this gut visceral feeling of like I'm not gonna fuck anything up right now. Yeah. It was like being in flow state or like in the zone, you know. So that was dope to me. And then the Montreal one was like, I thought we just had like a great time. It was more, we did the cypher at the end. Yeah, the cypher was cool. I was going to ask about that. Yeah, like, the cypher was so dope. And like Penny and his boys were so sick. Like I had such a good time with everybody. And Montreal was a bit more like laid back, I would say, but more of like a genuine vibe. I could say that. Yeah. So I love I love both shows, but the Montreal show was really fun too. And did you any experiences afterwards? Like, did you have any highlights from Montreal, the city, places you like checking out? From Montreal, well, like after, before the show, we went to Picnic Electronique, me and some of my boys, and we were at a rave for like 3 hours before that show. Do you remember who was performing? Polo and Pan. I don't know if they're French. Two French guys. I think I've heard of them. Yeah, they're like more like chill vibes. Yeah, but kind of like melodic deep house. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and then live, it was just like that crowd is always gonna be like super chill. You know? Yeah, exactly. It's just vibes. Yeah, it's just vibes and shit. On. Everybody's like, it was day party. Everyone's lit. Summer, and I just remember going from that. And then I was like, I got lit, but I didn't get crazy. Like I had the performance, and I'm dragging my boys. They're all gone. I'm dragging my boys over across the island, from the island, to the show. And I don't know. That whole day
it's
was
go time.
Yeah, it's go time. Like the whole day was just so fun. And I had my boy from BC there. I haven't seen him in like 3 years, so it was just great.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was sick.
I got one more question to wrap things up here. This is kind of a thought experiment.
Okay.
But if you had a billboard that millions of people would see, and you could put anything you wanted on it, like a message, a poem, anything you want on the billboard.
Okay.
What message would you put on this billboard and kind of show to these millions of people?
Fuck. That is a thought experiment.
You can take your time.
I might need to
There's
think
no
on that
rush.
one. I might need to think on that one for a little bit. It would definitely be along the lines of that's weighted, you know what I mean? Like you got to put something that matters there. Try shrooms. That would be my definitely. Definitely. Yeah,
okay,
try
sick.
shrooms if I had to put anything.
Nice.
Final answer.
There we go. Locked in.
Try shrooms.
Cool. All right.
Change your life, man.
Thank you, Jay Dunni. Really appreciate your time today.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks so much.